Good evening, everybody. My name is Madonna, and it's my pleasure to say welcome to the Graham Norton Show.
Special night, pop icon Madonna will be here. Yes, she will. She'll be chatting about her new album and tour. So excited, genuinely excited, very excited. But we start with news from the world of politics, yes. The first vote in the Conservative leadership battle has taken place, and 3 candidates are out, including the fragrant Este McVeigh. Oh, I know, Esther's gone. Women everywhere will be devastated. Like, you know you're in trouble if Lorraine Kelly hates you. That's not a good sign. Now, who is still in the running? Well, there's Michael Gove. Just enjoying his morning coffee there. Well, you know, he's a big fan of Columbia's finest. And to be fair, all the top Tories seem to have done drugs. Gove did the coke. Rory Stewart smoked opium. Okay. Jeremy Hunt drank a cannabis lassie. Even Theresa May has done it. Yeah. Apparently she once took an antihistamine tablet after running through a wheat field. High for days. Now, Rory Stewart's still in. On Tuesday, he launched his leadership campaign from a circus tent. Yeah, sorry, did you mean to go on? His speech was full of circus references. In fact, when he shouted, roll up, Michael Gove got out a £5 note. True that. Yeah, true that. All very circusy, but where, I wonder, was the head clown? Ah, yes, there he is. Boris Johnson, of course, came top in the first vote. That's him launching his campaign. His slogan is, Back Boris. Or should that be, Back Boris? Or perhaps it's short for, Can I have my wife back, Boris? Boris is playing well to the hardliners and has promised that we will leave the EU on the 31st of October, and that can be written in stone. Or failing that on the side of a bus. Let's get some guests on! What a show we have for you tonight. Not only will we be meeting the fabulous Madonna, acting great Sir McKellen will be popping by, and we'll have music from rock star Sheryl. It's so much. But first up, let's meet the stars and director of the new Beatles-inspired romantic comedy Yesterday. He's gone from soap star to movie star. It's Himesh Patel! Hello, sir. So nice to see you. Oh, the beard's back.
Yes, it's back.
She's the star of Cinderella and Mamma Mia 2. It's Lily James. Hello, darling. Lovely to see you. Hi. Have a seat there, Lily James. And he's the Oscar-winning director behind Trainspotting, Shallow Grave, and Slumdog Millionaire. Please welcome Danny Boyle, everybody. Show business, isn't it? It is wonderful. Lovely to see you all. Wow. Welcome to you all. And Danny, now, I think the last time you were here was with the Trainspotting crew.
It was, yeah.
Quite a rabble of a family. Now you've got new kids. These are nice kids. Look at them, yeah.
Much younger, more attractive, and more polite. Yes.
Yes, well behaved.
Well, we'll see.
Yes. Uh-oh. And the first time hello to Himesh Patel. Now, a lot of people, they leave soaps like EastEnders and they're going to pursue a film career. You've done it, my God. You're the star of a big movie. Well done, you.
Thank you.
Because you must, you know, because you were on the square for how many years?
Close to 9 years, yeah.
Yeah. So you must have waved goodbye to a lot of people, thinking, yeah, good luck.
Yeah, yeah. And I bet they were all thinking, we'll see him again in about a year. Yeah, it's gone well. I don't know.
There you are, as Tamwar on the thing. And you'd lots of stories. You were a market inspector. You were the maitre d' of the Argy Bargy.
Great name.
But now, how did this happen, Himesh?
Ah, yes.
Because that was part of the show.
Yeah.
I wish you'd worn that tonight.
I considered it. But I thought against... But this was about a year after I joined the show. And they kind of got the measure of me. They realised that I liked comedy and I liked kind of having a laugh. But their idea of using that was to do this storyline where Tamwar starts doing impressions of other people in the square and putting them online. And I had to do this like half a day where I was just sat in front of what looks like tarpaulin. It felt like I was being held hostage, paid to do these impressions of people. And I had to do that one of Dot Cotton, and they had these herbal cigarettes, and that I was like trying to smoke. I was like, I don't want to do this. Please don't make me do this. It did feel like a hostage situation.
Did June Brown find it funny?
I don't know if June ever saw it, because I had a lovely time with June. Pam St. Clement I did, Pat Butcher.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like she must have seen it because I never spoke to her. In all my 9 years, we never had a conversation, I don't think.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, she holds a grudge, old Pam. Yeah.
Maybe that's what it was.
Yesterday is the name of your film. It opens on Friday the 28th. And now, how are you describing this film, Danny Boyle? Is it a rom-com? There's bits of science fiction in it. It's a musical. But why?
Yeah, so it's this guy he's a singer-songwriter, not very successful singer-songwriter from Suffolk, all the S's, and his manager, very glamorous manager, but they're not very successful. And there's an accident, a blackout, which is the sci-fi bit of it, I suppose. And there's an accident, and when he wakes up in hospital, he can remember all the Beatles songs, but nobody else can. Like the world has forgotten them. There's nothing on Google, there's no vinyl, there's no CDs, no record of them anywhere. And he begins to, understandably, play them and realises that people think he's written them himself. And that's his moral quandary that he has, is that he wants to rescue the songs, but obviously does he take the credit for them as well? Yeah.
And so, Lily, you're the kind of the manager, best friend.
Best friend, fully in the friend zone, yeah.
Yes.
Sadly. She wants... No, it's amazing. We have this wonderful friendship that was really easy and fun to play, wasn't it? And I really... Oh, yeah, it was. And I really...
Yes.
And I really believe in him and support his music throughout. And it's like a kind of steadfast, true belief in someone when you really love someone and really think that they've got something to offer and to put out into the world, and then they get torn apart because he goes on this mad journey, and it sort of follows charts there.
They're really the heart of the movie, you know. The heart of the movie is their love.
Yeah.
Requited or unrequited, and on top of it is this weird premise.
And a fantastic soundtrack.
Fantastic. It's the best way of celebrating the
world.
band, I think. You know, it's an amazing way.
Listen, before we talk about some more, let's have a taste. Here's a taste of the movie Yesterday.
What happened?
Electricity flicked off all over the world.
Yesterday,
Ellie
bought you a present.
All my troubles seem so far away. Now it looks as though they're here to stay. Oh, I believe in yesterday.
When did you write that?
I didn't write it. Paul McCartney wrote it. The Beatles.
Who?
John, Paul, George and Ringo, the Beatles.
No. Stop it.
Yesterday. It's one of the greatest songs ever written.
Well, it's not Coldplay. It's not Fix You.
Do you genuinely not know who the Beatles are?
Genuinely.
Then I'm in a really, really, really complicated situation. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me.
Sorry, I'm just listening to Jack's new song.
What's this one called?
Leave It Be.
Let it be.
Well, rock on, Jack.
in terms of a British movie, I mean, this is kind of amazing credentials. You know, Danny Boyle's directing it, the Beatles have done the music, and Richard Curtis wrote it. Now, were you friends with Richard Curtis anyway?
Well, we'd met on the Olympics, because we did this sequence in the opening ceremony of the Olympics, where Rowan Atkinson played Mr. Bean.
Of course, yeah.
He was like one of Britain's most famous exports. Yeah. And so he'd be recognisable all around the world. That was it. And so Richard came in and helped us with the sequence, because he said, you'll need help with Rowan. So he came in, and the help you need is to stop Rowan performing forever, because he's a perfectionist, and he will do hundreds of takes, if he can, hundreds and hundreds. And so it was Richard who had to explain to him he only got to do it once on the night, because he was going to be live.
And, Lily, you've worked with Richard a couple of times, because you were in Mamma Mia 2, and then the Four Weddings sequel for Comic Relief.
Well, that was cool because Rowan married Alicia Vikander and myself, which was so surreal. I mean, Hugh Grant was walking me down the aisle to get married, and the entire cast of Four Weddings and a Funeral were in the church. There's the congregation. It was, and I love his movies. I've grown up watching them. I just, you know, so it was a really sort of magical, surreal experience.
And one of the things, when I watched the trailer, I thought, oh, Ed Sheeran must have a cameo. But Ed Sheeran is properly in this film. You have a lot of scenes with him.
Yeah.
So what's that like? You're playing an aspiring pop star against, you know, arguably the biggest pop star, you know, around. He's huge.
I thought it was going to be, like, really surreal and continually surreal every time I see him on set, but he's so down to earth.
He's kind of freakishly down to earth.
Freakishly
like, you kind of think, what's wrong with you? why are you so down to earth?
Honestly, like, we went to one of his gigs in Manchester. We went to, and we were, like, hanging out with him backstage, and then it was like, it was time to go. And we just watched him go out and play in front of 60,000. It's just him on stage as well. And then he just comes to rehearsal and hangs out with us, and he's so relaxed on set.
So chill,
And I think that led to an amazing performance, because, you know, as actors, we want to be relaxed.
Yeah.
And he just was.
And in terms of getting the music, the Beatles music, is it you wrote to the Living Beatles and then the Widows?
Yes, you have to... Obviously, Sony control the financial side of it, but Apple, which is the two surviving Beatles and their widows, and the two other widows, control the aesthetic, you know, how it's used, so it's not... so the music isn't misused. And it's incredibly expensive. I mean, it's the most expensive item the second most expensive item I've ever had in a film.
What's the first?
Leonardo DiCaprio's fame. So it's like they were beautiful. We showed them the film, and they wrote. We got a lovely letter off Ringo and off Olivia, George's widow. Very beautiful letters back from them. So, you know, they don't need to kind of like recommend the film, but they gave us the go-ahead to go with the film.
Because you grew up with their music. I mean, you were a kid when they were in the charts and stuff.
Well, I remember being 7 years old, and I have a twin sister, and we used to play upstairs in bed, pretending she was in love with Paul McCartney. So she would play Paul, and I would therefore play John. And we had a younger sister, Bernadette, who was 4, and she would play George or Ringo.
The others.
Anybody.
Whatever numbers, yeah.
But meanwhile, our parents were playing... And the reason we were playing it is because downstairs our parents were playing the original 7-inch singles.
Yeah.
Like Love Me Do and Please Please Me. And you always think of your parents as old, don't you?
Yeah.
But obviously, when I'd been doing this film, I realised they were young then, and they were dancing downstairs to the original Beatles music, which is lovely.
Amazing.
Because Lily, obviously a different generation. You grew up not with the Beatles. So the Spice Girls were kind of the Beatles of your generation.
And I'm going to see them on Saturday. I can't wait.
Oh, well, because we've got this clip. How old are you in this clip?
Well, I don't know, 5, 6? I don't know.
Yeah, but they've got a proper sound system in for Lily. Is this your house?
I'm regretting this.
Is this your house?
Yes.
OK, so this is Lily... What?
No, carry on. That's
So as far as I know, correct me if I'm wrong about any of this, this is Lily in her front room, just loving her life.
But the best bit of this is sort of the last second of it. it was my 30th birthday, and we were watching all our old sort of home videos, and we watched that, and I realised that I'd driven my mother to alcohol. Because I was always, and I thought I was quite shy and cool and raw, but actually I was just always singing and performing.
Because I thought that was a heavy pour. So
absolutely fabulous.
And Himesh, when you're in the movie, in total, how many Beatles songs did you have to learn?
How many were there? Like, close to 20, I think.
Yeah, and we use about 17 of them in the end. I think there's 17 altogether in the film, yeah.
All right, well, if we test you now, I believe... Is there a guitar behind you?
Oh, yeah, there is, yeah.
As if we planned it.
I mean...
Is it? Oh, yeah, there we go.
Pick down there.
I don't.
Okay, good.
Is this your guitar?
This is the guitar we chose for him to
And he
play.
can keep this guitar.
So this is my guitar now.
This is the actual guitar. OK, so give us a blast of some Beatles.
I'll give you the blasters, a little something, shall I?
Yeah.
Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. Now it looks as though they're here to stay. Oh, I believe yesterday.
Wow! Beautiful! Gorgeous. Thank you so much for that. And just a reminder, yesterday the movie opens 2 weeks tonight on Friday the 28th. Right, it is time to meet our next guest. This woman has dominated and influenced the music industry for nearly 4 decades, becoming the best-selling female artist of all time. Now she's back with her highly anticipated new album, Madam X. Please welcome, it's Madonna! Woo! Yay! Hello. So much for coming to here. Thank you very, very much. I'm really well, how are you? Well, very well. Oh, yes, very nice. Come in, meet everybody. Danny, Lily, Himesh. This is Lily. Big fan of you.
Thank you.
Lily.
Hello, how are you?
Himesh. Woohoo!
Himesh? Himesh.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
Sit down, sit down. Thank you so much for being here.
Is there room for me?
There is, of course,
Okay.
always. We'll budge up.
Okay.
How are you?
I'm not used to sharing couches. What's going on with that suit?
Well, it's a suit.
There's things on it.
Yeah, a little bit of flowers on it. Yeah.
Yeah, I just realized that my corset is so tight, it's pushing my boobs up when I sit down. Maybe I should do the interview standing up.
Or do you want to pull it down? Actually, I mean, in fairness...
Do you want to pull it down?
Your tits look fabulous. So, I think you'll be pleased with the end result.
Okay, good.
Danny, eyes up, Danny.
Let's be modest. You made
so-
one of my favorite movies, by the way.
Oh, right, thank you.
Trainspotting.
Oh, that's very
Love
kind.
it.
But you performed at the Hacienda. Do you remember the
I
Hacienda?
do.
That was
Yeah,
a key moment.
Wasn't Boy George there also?
Was he there then?
I think he was. Yeah.
Wow.
We go way back. Were you there?
I wasn't, I'm afraid, no. Some of my friends were,
Okay.
said it was an amazing evening. And it's a key cultural moment for Britain's development, really.
I feel very much a part of the fabric of Britain's development.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I'll tell you what
I'll
we'll
ever
do.
get an Obie?
Oh, have you got an Obie?
No.
Can you get...
No, I can't.
They can give you something, surely.
Probably not.
No?
I'm probably the last person they'd give something to.
Do you pay tax here?
I do.
Well, then you should get something. Give her a prize. Yeah. So listen, this is very exciting. Madam X, the new album, is out today. I know. That's it. My coffee.
Just want to make sure it's
Oh, is it? I haven't checked.
packaged the way it's supposed to be. But there's nothing even in it. This is fake.
Is it?
It's not even a real record.
You're right, it's not a record. So annoying.
I stole it.
Yeah. No, that's right. And, you know, do you still get excited when the new album's coming?
Yeah, I'm having anxiety right now.
Are you really? Mm-hmm. But the buzz on this album is amazing. People, you know, the reviews have been off the hook.
That's good. I'm happy about that. But it's still, you know how it feels, right? When you're putting a movie out.
Absolutely.
Every time, it's like it's the first time.
OK, well, look, before we talk about it, let's have a taste of some of the tracks that we have already heard. These are kind of some of the ones you've released already.
It's inside of us. I want
want to tell you about love and loneliness.
There is a lot of kind of... It's a very different sound. A lot of the record, you know, there are things in there for kind of, you know, old fans. They're kind of, you know, you kind of think, oh, that's a classic Madonna track. But then there are all these new sounds.
Well, you're old, I'm not.
I am old. I'm old. Yeah, I'm so old. But the collaborations on there, how do they come about? Do you meet people? Do people introduce you? Do you kind of ask people?
Do I go on Tinder and swipe right or left?
Is there a collaboration Tinder?
No, I went to Lisbon, and I moved to Lisbon because my son wanted to play soccer, is playing soccer. And I honestly had no idea what was going to happen to me, and I didn't know anybody. So how did I meet people? I had one friend that lived there, and I ran into her by accident, but there are no accidents. And she introduced me to a gentleman from Cape Verde named Dino de Santiago, and I said, and he was a musician, singer, songwriter, and he opened the door for me and introduced me to all these amazing people, and that's really how my record was born.
And I don't know this. How do you work? When you go to the studio, do you bring things with you? Do you bring lyrics? Do you bring sounds, rhythms, tunes? Or does it all happen in the studio? How does it come together?
It happens different every time. A lot of it has to do with the magic in the moment of whoever I'm collaborating with. Sometimes I hear music and it evokes ideas and I write lyrics. Sometimes I come with lyrics already, an idea, subject matter that I want to talk about. Like, I have a song on my record called God Control, which is about gun control. And gun control is something I'm really passionate about and an advocate for, and I already knew what I wanted to say. So sometimes I'm prepared, sometimes I got weapons, and sometimes things just happen in the moment.
So, Madam X, she is all these things, but the one thing we didn't expect Madam X to be was a soccer mom. That just, you know what I mean? I think, genuinely, people were kind of like, she's done what now?
Yes.
It was surprising that you upped sticks and moved to Lisbon.
Yes, I surprised myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you post things online, you see that David is really good at the piano and he dances and all that.
God, I wish he wanted to be a singer. And
Well, that's what I mean. Was it a disappointment?
It was a lot easier for me.
Yeah. Was it a disappointment that he chose sport over music?
I can't say it's a disappointment. That's not fair. It's a challenge. Yes. Yeah.
Can you focus on an entire soccer match?
Anything right now. Say that again?
Can you, like, if you watch a game of football?
Wait, my
What's happening now?
medication hasn't kicked in yet. I'm sorry. What?
Can you focus? If you go to see a football game, can you watch the whole thing?
I only watch when my son's playing.
Okay.
If truth is told.
And if he doesn't have the ball, you look away.
If he's sitting on the bench, I'm on my phone.
But now all the kids, we've got a picture of you with all your children. I think this is at your birthday party. There you are with them all.
Yep.
And they're all talented in different ways. And I've heard you talk about how some of your kids don't really care so much that, you know, their mother's Madonna.
I think they wish I wasn't.
Okay.
I think they wish I wasn't their famous mother.
But do some of the kids get a kick out of being Madonna?
Yeah. The younger ones.
Yeah.
They enjoy it. But as you get older, you know, there's peer pressure and you start to care about what people say and think, and there's something called social media.
Yes.
You know, that terrible dragon that flies over everyone.
Yeah.
And takes over their lives. And that affects my older children, obviously. So they never say it to me, but I can tell. because you know, my son is an artist and my daughter is a dancer, and I think probably it would be less challenging in their own mind for them if they didn't have me as a mother.
Well, as a bar for success, you've set it quite high.
Yeah.
So, Madam X being a soccer mom, surprising. Equally surprising is the tour. Because here you're doing your residency at the Palladium.
I don't like that word, residency.
Oh, no?
No.
You're doing a stint?
No.
An extended...
I'm doing a number of shows in the same place.
A number of shows in the same place.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds better.
Okay, you're parking up for a while at the Palladium, which for you is a kind
my
of...
horse to the Old Town Road. Yeah. Yeah.
But that is a kind of insanely small venue for you. So what is the thinking behind this tour?
Okay, well, I think how many people can fit into this theater?
About 580.
Okay, so I like this because I can see everybody, and you can see me, right?
Yeah.
There's a kind of, I can look into everyone's eyes. If you say something to me, for instance, you, sir.
Don't.
Gentlemen. With the beard and the glasses. Yes, what's your name? Rob. How are you, Rob? I'm good, thanks for asking. See, we can have this exchange. I can't do that in a stadium or a sports arena.
That sounds better to me.
I want to do something.
I mean, lovely to meet you, Rob, but no offense.
No, but I want something different.
Is it going to be more acoustic?
Hell no.
And
There's gonna be, I'm bringing musicians that I met in Lisbon, and we are gonna focus on music, but there's gonna be electronic music as well, technology, sometimes no musicians on the stage, sometimes nothing but a grand piano, sometimes only dancing. It's gonna be very theatrical, very intimate.
I'm sold. It sounds amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm nervous.
Now, I know you're all about the future, what comes next, but what I've noticed on your Instagram, you do kind of look back a bit.
Well, I mean, sometimes, because the past shaped me.
Yeah.
Or sometimes I feel nostalgic.
And
you know, lots of amazing people were in my life.
Tell me, we're going to look at
no
some
longer
of them.
exist.
Yeah, but we've got a picture here. You posted this. What age are you here?
5 or 6, yeah. And that's a talent show. That was the beginning of my career as a performing artist.
Did you win?
I did not.
I'd love to know who won.
She's dead now.
She died under mysterious circumstances. It was a terrible playground accident. We've got some more pictures. This must have been, I think this is just you hanging out in a club with Diana Ross.
Nile Rodgers.
Nile Rodgers.
Wow.
Jelly Bean there.
Shitty ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, I'll just do that. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. What was that?
And I'm wearing a skirt that Keith Haring designed for me.
Oh, wow.
That's the best part of the picture.
Yeah. Oh, wow. And would you just hang out like that then?
Hell yeah.
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 And do you miss that?
Hell yeah. I miss hanging out with artists.
Is that why Lisbon was so kind of amazing, that you did get to do that?
Yes.
Now, this is early days, but you were still...
When I went on tour with the Beastie Boys. That's Madison Square Garden.
Wow.
And that's when they pulled my pants off of me. Actually, I was wearing a skirt. And then we had a water gun fight on stage. They were my opening act.
And this is when, because the fans didn't know the Beastie Boys then.
Nope, nobody had ever heard of them, and everyone said that I was going to be booed off the stage, or they were going to be booed off the stage, or what was I thinking, and I'm crazy, and nobody knows them, and their music is crap, and all that stuff. And I said, yes, they're opening up for me. And then it became huge.
They really did.
Yeah, I love the Beastie Boys.
Because, Himesh, you were saying backstage about Madonna and sort of...
What were you saying?
What was I saying? The thing about, like, when does somebody... Tell her to her face. Tell her to her face. No, you were saying about the idea of Madonna.
Yeah, the idea, just when does your life change? Because obviously in our film, this guy comes from nowhere and then his life changes. At what point do you realise that life's never going to be quite the same again.
I mean, are you talking about that fame word?
Yes.
Oh, yes. I think for me it was my first tour. I kind of went from doing small clubs. First I started off in bands, playing in bands and doing places like CBGB's and clubs on the Lower East Side in Manhattan. And then I made a record, and then I was playing in discos around America and Europe. And then I went from that to a huge tour. I kind of skipped the bus tour segment. And then when I walked out on stage for the first time in, I think it was Washington, and I just saw a sea of people, girls dressed like me, and I don't know, this energy hit me, and I realized that my life was never going to be the same.
And is that kind of answered prayers, where you kind of...
I don't think anyone ever prays for that.
That's what I mean.
Or imagined.
Yeah.
I don't think the Beatles ever imagined that they were going to be as huge and influential and life-changing as they were. I don't think... No one ever could imagine.
And it's interesting, because at the moment, there's you know, this idea of musical biopics are very en vogue.
Yes.
Between Rhapsody
God
and rock and
forbid.
everything. Madonna? Would someone make yours? Who would you like to make yours?
I will make mine.
Yeah.
Okay. Do it.
I will.
Are you going?
I would like to warn any director who thinks they're going to make a biopic of me that there will be more mysterious deaths.
This program is dedicated to Danny Boyle. Madonna, we are so excited for the new album and for the tour, but for the moment, ladies and gentlemen...
Show me how excited you are.
What do you mean? Do you want me to get an erection? For you, I probably could. I probably could.
Demonstrate your excitement in some way.
Ladies and gentlemen, Madonna! Yes, take a bow. Yeah. This is a crazy night, an embarrassment with because we have another guest, and he's one of our favourites. Please welcome Sir Ian McKellen!
Good evening.
Danny.
Hello, Danny. Hello again.
Lily.
Lovely to see you.
Himesh.
Good evening, nice to see you. Hello.
Sit. I feel that, is this, have you guys met before?
Oh, don't go away from me.
No, have we? I don't think so.
We have, but yes, we were on the same bill at one point. We were doing a charity in Los Angeles with David Hockney.
Oh.
Do you remember? And you did voguing.
I did.
Well, I did it as well in the aisles, but you were much better.
Good.
Happy days. Happy days. Now, how are you, Ian McKellen? Because it's the last...
I'm 80.
Yes, you've become a tiny bit older. 80 years old. Well done, you.
And Graham, I cannot recommend it strongly enough. It's wonderful. People give you parties and send you cards and presents and come and see you in the theatre, and I'm having a lovely time.
And was it wise they gave you a surprise party at 80?
Yes, I think they were a little bit frightened I might have a heart attack. But that would be the end of it. It was the most blissful thing.
And what was nice was your party was kind of back in your old stomping ground.
Yes, it was my old school, Bolton School, where I was brought up. And it was the day before my birthday, and I thought I was just going out for an Indian meal, actually. And it turned out I was having... I did have an Indian meal, but it was at school with 150 people. Some had flown in from L.A., and...
Wasn't me.
No, it wasn't you. No, you weren't invited because you didn't remember working with me.
Now...
No, I wasn't in charge of the list, so you can't blame me.
I wasn't invited either.
No.
I do remember working with you. Yeah. But now, somebody made an extraordinary cake.
Oh, they did?
Yes.
It was so extraordinary that I couldn't bear to cut it. And if only you could see it, you would understand why.
Well, we can see some of it.
Yes?
Because, so it was you, essentially, the cake.
Oh, it was a likeness of me.
So people ate the body?
Well, I cut into... It was a sort of a bust on a plinth, and I cut through the plinth, but... I mean, I couldn't offer someone an ear or a nose.
Well, now, because we have it...
Oh, my
here.
God.
Now, this, you've kept this.
But I'm keeping it. It's come from my fridge.
So creepy. Who would eat that?
It's a likeness, but I wouldn't call it flattering.
What it seemed to me is it's not really like me, but it's like a character that I might play. Do you think?
Yes.
I think I could play that.
Yeah.
Do you not think?
Yes.
But you can't eat it.
We could have a bite.
Actually, have you been nibbling at it?
No.
Well, what's all that down your suit?
That's not you. That's not you.
But thank you. Is it refrigerated there?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
That's a working fridge. We have it on set for just these. But now, this is lovely. So, one of your old ex-men, he made a fuss about your birthday.
Oh, well, people sent messages, and they were invited to and suddenly, upon the...
No, none of us were.
Not even a message.
Why should we even sit with you?
Here we are now. This could be another party. We've got a cake, and we're all together.
That's true, and a nice drink.
There's no rosé
stop
champagne.
That's rosé champagne right there.
Is it?
Yes.
Why? You haven't handed it to me.
Ted. Oh, sorry, Ian. There's yours.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday.
Well, yes. Are you going to tell this story? Or
Oh, you tell it.
Yeah, well, I just saw the end result. Suddenly, onto the screen at my old school, I saw Hugh Jackman and 30,000 people, and he was playing in Manchester. I was just 8 miles away in Bolton, and they all sang Happy Birthday for me.
Oh, we've got the clip. This is him singing Happy Birthday to you with all these people.
Love you, Liz. Happy birthday.
Lovely. Very nice. But now, exciting as your birthday is, that isn't why you're here. You're here to make an announcement.
God, are you having a child?
Well,
he's having a baby.
The last time I was here, I was telling you that I was going to go to 80-odd, and some of them very odd, theatres up and down the country.
I remember it well.
Your theatre tour also.
Yes, that's right.
See?
Yes.
80 theatres, and I'm three-quarters of the way through that. And I am enjoying it so much, meeting people who love the theatre as much as I do and seem to have a ball, that I thought, well, I don't want to stop doing it, so I'm not, and I'm going to do it in London. I'm coming back from the regions, and I'm going to do it for 3 months in London, and we start up on...
Yeah. It's at the Harold Pinter.
It's at the Harold Pinter Theatre, yes, and I should be doing, I don't know, whatever the audience want me to do, really.
Yes. Is it a residency?
Yes, it is.
That sounds like an old folks' home.
Well, at my age.
Now, Danny, you've seen the show.
I did. I went up to Manchester and saw the show.
Bless you.
And it is absolutely amazing. He does 3 hours, and it is the most extraordinary...
What do you do?
Oh,
I'm not going to tell you. Ask Danny what do I do.
I mean, I know you're an actor.
Yeah. Well, it's a bit of a chat show. I talk to the audience.
But do they ask you to do, like, scenes and monologues from plays?
Yes, if they call out, I respond. And
Really?
yes, as you might do a number for them, and I do a bit of Shakespeare.
Wow.
It's my equivalent.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do a bit of singing, don't I?
you
I do a bit of Shakespeare also.
Do you?
No.
She will now.
I might.
And now, do the audience get to ask questions?
No.
Okay, because
But they sometimes shout out and...
Because there is a super fan at the end of the couch. You do have an annoying question. Well, I don't know about annoying.
Well,
you have
yeah.
a question.
I don't know. So when we were on set with our movie, I was often getting into debates with Joel Fry, who's an actor who's in the movie, a brilliant actor, and I believe that the line from Lord of the Rings is "Fly, you fools," but he was just constantly telling me it was "Run, you fools," and I was like, "No, it's fly. It's definitely fly." But maybe you could clear it up for us.
Fly.
Fly. It is fly. You win.
But just for the nerds and hobbits among you, it is not you shall not pass. Tolkien didn't write that. He wrote you cannot pass. And I got it wrong, but I'm rather stuck with it now.
That's amazing. Yeah, because actually, Madonna, you're doing a Q&A with fans after this. Are there fan questions that you kind of think, oh, Jesus?
Of course.
What are the ones that you avoid?
Do you ever just get to be you?
Wow.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
those kind of stupid questions.
I didn't ask that.
Nope.
No. It was all written down, but I didn't read it out. And do you like those Q&A things with fans?
You can take them as opportunities to say things that you want to say. Yeah. You can just ignore the question and answer something else. You know, you can use it as a springboard.
That's a very political, politician-y type thing to do.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I'm known to be political.
Madonna for president. You heard it here first.
Yeah. If Donald can do it, Madonna can do it.
We look forward to it. Thank you very much. Happy birthday to Ian McKellen. And good luck with the next 80 shows. Right, it is time for music. This 9-time Grammy-winning singer-songwriter has sold over 50 million albums worldwide and is here tonight performing her new single, Still the Good Old Days. Please welcome the fabulous Sheryl Crow. on over. Sheryl, Himesh, Lily, Danny, Madonna, Ian.
How are you?
What honor. An honor meeting with a fan.
Thank you so much, Sheryl Crow. Oh, sorry, no, I'm being rude. Sit,
No,
sit.
no,
Have a
sit.
seat, too. Have your beer.
I'm gonna have it.
Yeah! Happy birthday, Ian. Yay! And, presumably, Sheryl and Madonna, you know each other, right?
You do? It's been a long time.
The last time we met, we were slagging off men.
Very possible.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I think it was. I think we were
Where can this
discussing.
be done?
I think it was in an airplane. Were we in an airplane?
I think we were at the Paris fashion shows, and we had a lunch with a bunch of girls, and we discussed my ex, who happened to be sleeping with his yoga teacher.
Yeah.
Good noise.
All right, well.
Very good noise.
See you guys.
Yeah. And now, we must say thank you so much. Apparently, that's an exclusive.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just newly coming out. In fact, I think today's the first day.
Oh, wow, fantastic. Yes, the single is out today. And the new album, Threads, that I know is out on the 30th of August.
Yes, that's correct.
And I was talking to Madonna about collaborations earlier, and you too, I mean, Chris Christopherson, Stevie Nicks, Eric Clapton, Willie Nelson, Sting. I mean, that's quite an address book. Did you just, how, you know...
Did you go on Tinder also?
I did. On Tinder.
Yeah. Was it Grindr? I don't know.
I don't know. You're talking to the wrong person. Absolutely. I have two
Usually
small
am.
children, and if they aren't on Cartoon Network, I probably don't know who they are. So I kind of know where I stand with my kids.
But now, where you'll be standing on Friday, the 28th of June, is Glastonbury.
Yes.
I
yeah.
know.
I know. It's one of my favorite festivals to play.
I feel like there's a picture of you in Wellington boots every year, Lily James.
I love Glastonbury. I will be there.
Oh, I love it too.
Yeah.
I have great
In
memories.
mud and drunk.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
the
what's
one.
good about
Now,
it.
and you've never done Glastonbury, is this
No,
right?
because I don't drink.
Come sit in with us.
Wait, is it June 20th?
June 28th.
28th.
Yeah.
No, I'm playing Pride in New York. New York. 2 days later. I'll be rehearsing.
Of course, getting it right.
I might be doing Vogue, so you might want to be there, sir.
But I'm doing my own
Sir
show.
Ian, yes, you're
They're all
busy.
doing shows.
Oh, we're so busy.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh, God.
I'm doing nothing. I will be there. So listen, Sheryl, good luck with Glastonbury and with the new album. And thank you for that amazing performance. Sheryl Crow, everybody! That is your lot for tonight. We've a packed show, no time for red chairs. So please say a huge thank you to all of my guests. Sheryl Crow, everybody! Himesh Patel! Lily James! Danny Boyle! Sir Ian McKellen! And Madonna! Join me next week with grime icon Stormzy, Spider-Man far from home, Jake Gyllenhaal, Tom Holland, Oscar winner Gwyneth Paltrow, and from Toy Story 4, Woody himself, Mr. Tom Hanks. I'll see you then. Good night, everybody. Bye!